Thank you, Abda. Yes, I was invited to talk about especially the United Nations standards and what it says about water, because we met, on the subject of water. So in my statement, I emphasize the importance of having safe, accessible, affordable water, which is also culturally acceptable. And I try to focus on the fact that we unfortunately do not only have regional differences, but even within the same country or within the same city, we have serious disparities between the communities. And I was trying to ask the question from all of us, why is it so? Why is the case that if we look into the data and statistics of different population groups, the Dalits, the Roma, the indigenous peoples, the black people in America, why do we find that the statistics so much weaker when it comes to their access to water and sanitation? And so I also emphasize the phenomenon of stigma and how stigmatization affects all areas of lives and how we need to come together in solidarity to work against stigmatization, discrimination, and exclusion. Yes, thank you for your question. I was born in Hungary. And I was born in a mixed marriage. I don't know how many people in Senegal know about the Roma community, or the Gypsies, the Gitano, the Rom. It depends on the language. And my mother is from this community. And I grew up knowing that I'm a bit different from my peers. And I was proud of it. But when I was 21 years old, I was actually fired from a job. I worked with an agency that provided assistance for government-organized meetings. It was quite high level. And one day, I wasn't invited anymore. And so I asked the question, why is it the case? And they told me that because my Roma origin is a shame for the company, and they should not be represented by a Roma woman. So that was for me the turning point when I decided, I was 21 years old, that I have to work on the rights of discriminated communities. And I started with my own community, the Roma, and I worked several years as an advocate for the Roma community. And then I moved to other countries and I made my work more global. So I went to Somalia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then I worked in Geneva, in Brussels. And yes, lately I was the Special Rapporteur on minority issues and also the member and the reporter of the UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Well, I'm a Senegalese citizen, so I'm also a proud Senegalese. But I always looked at myself as somebody who can relate to everybody and who feels home everywhere, and that's why I think I try to use my voice all over these years to advocate for the most marginalized communities and to try to bring attention to them. Because as we discussed, sometimes the main issue is invisibility. So many of these communities are just somehow kept in the back. And even when there is reportage from different countries, the most marginalized communities are not part of this because they just want to keep a public image for a country. So it's very important that us who are advocates and who know about these issues and the challenges, that we come together and then we give voice to these people, and we are also becoming the voice, so that together we can form a critical mass that can challenge all these discriminatory practices. My message is to always believe in your own power. You know, I heard some testimonies in the room during the panel discussion about community members who feel that nobody is paying attention to their situation and they feel like wherever they go, they can't be heard. And it makes me sad because today we all have tools in our hands, right? We have social media accounts. It's easy to actually get our news out, the information out. And we should also use the many mechanisms in place, the African Union or the United Nations mechanisms, and also friends. You know, in the room, we had people coming from the government, from the different international organizations. It's important to use our allies. So my message to the young Africans is that use your network well, be smart, be strategic, make your voice heard, reach out to others, build a community, don't feel like you are alone, and come together as one, represent yourself as a community, and then you will be listened to, because it's not possible to dismiss an entire community. It may be possible not to listen to one person, but when you come together as a group, people will have to pay attention to you. Jai Bhim, Opra Roma, Niofar.